We're all told the same thing, right? If you want to earn more money, you just have to work harder. But what if that's not really the whole story? What if there's a fundamental law, almost like a law of physics, that's actually in charge of your income? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to uncover.
So let's just start with a number. 97%. Just kind of let that hang in the air for a second. What on earth could that possibly represent? Here's the deal. It's a staggering fact. 97% of all the money that's earned is earned by just 3% of the population. Now that's not an accident, and it's definitely not just luck. It's because that tiny group, that 3%, understands something that the rest of us often don't. So, yeah, what is their secret? What do they know that creates such a massive gap? Well, I can tell you what it's not about. It's not just about working more hours. It's about understanding a very specific and very powerful law of economics. And that's what we're going to break down right now.
Okay, but first, before we get to the actual law, we have to tackle this huge myth. I'm talking about the myth that keeps millions of people stuck, putting in all this effort without ever seeing the reward.
I mean, this is the story we've all heard a million times. Put in the hours, hustle harder, be the first one in and the last one to leave. And look, hard work is absolutely important, don't get me wrong, but it's only one little piece of a much, much bigger puzzle.
Think about it. If pure effort was the only thing that mattered, then the people doing the most physically exhausting, longest-hour jobs, they'd be the richest people on the planet. And, well, we all know that's just not how it works. So what's the missing piece?
This is the big shift in thinking we need to make. We've been taught to focus on everything on the left side of the screen, the hours we put in, the effort, just the pure busyness of it all. But the real law, the one that actually dictates your income, focuses on something totally different. It focuses on the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and maybe the most important part, how irreplaceable you are. And that right there brings us to the core of this whole thing. The principle that top 3% gets, whether they consciously call it this or not, is known as the law of compensation.
Now, the law itself sounds pretty simple, actually. It basically says that your income isn't just some random number. It's a direct result of 3 very specific things. It's not magic, it's more like a formula.
And here they are, the 3 pillars that make up that formula. Let's break them down real quick. First, the need. Is there a big, urgent demand out there for the thing you do? Second, your ability. Are you just okay at it, or are you genuinely excellent at your craft? And then third, the one that changes everything, irreplaceability. How hard would it be to find someone else who can do what you do? These 3 things, working together, are what determine your paycheck.
And that third pillar, being irreplaceable, that's where the real secret sauce is. This is where you switch your focus from just working hard to becoming so good that they literally can't replace you.
So here's the crucial takeaway. The goal is not to be the busiest person in the office. The goal is to become a master, to pour your energy into becoming so ridiculously good at something valuable that you're playing a different game altogether. And why is becoming a master so important? Because it directly cranks up that third pillar. See, a true master has a depth of skill and knowledge that's super rare. And that rarity is exactly what makes them incredibly difficult and very expensive to replace.
Okay, so let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Check out role A. Let's call it a generic agent. The need for the role is pretty high, sure, but the ability required is pretty basic. Someone can be trained quickly. So the difficulty to replace them is really low, and their compensation reflects that. Now look at role B, a super specialized engineer. The need is sky high. Their ability is expert level in a tiny niche, and because of that combination, they are incredibly hard to replace. And the result? A massive, massive difference in pay, all because of those 3 pillars.
So the big question becomes, how do you actually use this? How do you take this from just an idea and turn it into a real strategy for your own career? Well, it becomes your personal equation for growth.
So this is your new roadmap. Instead of asking, how can I work more hours, you start asking 3 much better questions. Number 1, how can I connect what I do to a bigger, more urgent need? Number 2, what can I practice deliberately to truly master my ability? And number 3, the big one, what unique skills can I develop that will make me almost impossible to replace? The answers to these questions, that's where your real power lies.
At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this single thought. Your paycheck isn't for your time, it's for your value. And that value is a direct measurement of the demand for what you do, how well you do it, and how hard it would be to find somebody else to do it instead.
So I'll leave you with this last thing to think about. Don't try to change everything all at once. Just ask yourself this one simple question. What is one small thing I can do this week? Maybe read a book, practice one skill for 20 minutes, watch a tutorial that will make me just 1% harder to replace. Because those small, consistent steps, that's the real secret to mastering the law of compensation.